If you have run a diagnostic scan and pulled up code P2085, you are dealing with an intermittent circuit issue in your exhaust gas temperature sensor, specifically on bank 1 sensor 2. This sensor plays a critical role in protecting your catalytic converter or diesel particulate filter from getting destroyed by excessive heat. On modern diesel engines, this sensor is also vital for determining when to regenerate the particulate filter. The sensor is essentially a heat-sensitive resistor. The computer sends it a 5-volt signal, and as the exhaust temperature rises, the sensor's resistance drops, which changes the voltage reading. When everything is working right, a cold sensor usually has about 150 ohms of resistance. This code means the signal is cutting in and out, which can be tricky to find. The most common cause is actually not the sensor itself, but loose or corroded connectors. Since this sensor lives under the car in a harsh environment, vibration and rust can break the connection. Start your diagnosis by raising the vehicle and locating the sensor on the exhaust pipe downstream of the converter. Follow the wires up to the connector and look for any signs of damage, missing insulation, or spots where the wire might be rubbing against the frame. If the wiring looks okay, you will want to test the sensor itself with an ohmmeter. Disconnect the sensor and probe the 2 terminals. You are looking for about 150 ohms. If the resistance is very low, say below 50 ohms, the sensor is internally shorted and needs to be replaced. You can even confirm this by heating the tip of the sensor with a hair dryer or heat gun while watching your meter. The resistance should drop smoothly as it heats up and rise as it cools down. If the numbers do not move or jump around, the sensor is bad. Another thing to consider is if you have recently modified your exhaust system. Removing the catalytic converter or installing a catback system without a spot for this sensor will definitely set this code. In some cases, people use a 2.2 ohm resistor plugged into the connector to trick the computer into thinking the sensor is there. But the proper fix is to ensure the sensor is installed and functioning. If your voltage and resistance checks out and the wiring is solid, you might be looking at a rare computer failure. But 99% of the time, a new sensor or wiring repair will fix this problem.